Boys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to rate the newest One Piece episode. There's probably not going to be a lot of editing. I took a little break from YouTube, and so this is going to be my comeback video. I mean, it's not going to be much, but I did watch the newest and the latest One Piece episode. I did react to it. It's on my Patreon and my other channel, which will probably be in the description below. You got this little thing here. I can't show a lot, obviously, but we do start off with, also like in the manga, with us seeing little Bonnie and Vegapunk talking, and Bonnie actually does get this jewel that she has right here. And if I remember correctly, this is, well, I don't think the jewel actually has something to do with it. I think because she obviously, spoiler alert, can talk and command the pacifist, so she's above everyone on the hierarchy. But I really love how they did this, and they also showed Vegapunk talking about what happened previously. You can see S-Snake, you can see S-Talk, Vegapunk of course telling Bonnie. And I mean, that's basically part 1 of Egghead, right? And we're in part 2 right now. And another thing is, part 2 is not going to be, it's only like 20 more episodes. Do y'all realize that? It's only like, I think 22 more episodes. They do 1 chapter per. But this episode, as you can see here, they did actually do more than 1 full chapter. They did 1 chapter and 4 pages. Because in the original, in the manga, Kuma doesn't punch Saturn in the same chapter as he saves Bonnie. Originally, Kuma saves Bonnie. He has it's like an awesome panel. It's kind of like when Ace saves Luffy, and then you can see him winding up to punch him. But the next chapter then starts with him punching him. But they added that here, and I actually really love that. I always wanted that, and I thought, because it works in the manga, but in the anime it's kinda, I don't know, it would be a blue ball if they just didn't do that here. So I'm very glad they did that. And also I'll talk about that later, because that's later. But going back, I love the transition here from the black bars that you can see to them going away. I'm gonna play a little bit, I can't play a lot. Right there, and then you see them going away. And then we do get the scene with Luffy, and it is Kizaru saving him. That might be later, but oh yeah, you do see the Eastman himself. You see Dragon. I also really like the transition between Dragon and like the pink background, and then Bonnie's hair flowing, which happens around here. Yeah, right there you can see it. It might not show up here, but right there. And then you have Bonnie trying to use her powers for a distorted future, but it doesn't work. And that is because her belief in the power itself, or Nika more specifically, is fading. And Saturn explains this, and he tells Bonnie everything he did. Oh, and yeah, this is the scene where Luffy gets food, and we're like, who is that, right? And I mean, as we know from that one SBS, Oda hinted at that it was Kizaru who did it. So that is very interesting. I saw a lot of, I looked at some other reactions, and I saw a lot of other people telling that to the reactors, and I think that's fine. But like, a point is that you don't read that, if you read it naturally in the manga, you don't read that question until the arc is over, basically. And that's when Kizaru's plot points in his arc in Egghead is over. And I think revealing this now, I don't know, it kind of ruins that a little bit. But I mean, I don't know. Moving forward, you do see from here on out a couple of glimpses of Kuma just racing towards Egghead. I really love that. And I gotta say, man, the suspense during this episode, I think, was amazing. On Twitter, I did see that, I mean, it's Twitter, so, but I did see a lot of people complaining about the pacing, and I'm gonna be honest, I think the pacing in this episode was phenomenal, and not just because they adapted 1 chapter plus 4 pages. Doing that doesn't mean the pacing is gonna be good. if they adapt more, that doesn't mean the pacing is gonna be good, right? But I thought just the suspense and just the unknowingness of what's gonna happen, even though I do know what's gonna happen, but the suspense in disbelief, I guess, it just made it so cool. And this is Saturn telling Bonnie about her powers, and then later her mother's, well, Ginny. And yeah, this right here, you can kind of see it right here, but you can see like these red lines, and they're like spider webs. I really love that metaphor because Saturn is the spider. And then in the outro, there's also a scene where it's a butterfly trapped in a spider's nest or in a spider web, and then you see the spider, and that's obviously supposed to represent Saturn and then Bonnie. So I really love that they use that metaphor again here. There's a lot of cool shots here as well. Sho Matsui, I think, was the storyboard artist and the director. He did a phenomenal job. And usually with his episodes, like 1127 and even the Shanks Kid episode, I don't usually love all of his music choices, but I really loved it here. There's also a new OST that plays during here when Kuma is running towards Bonnie, and I thought it was beautiful. You might not be able to see it, but this is another case of the spiderweb metaphor right here. You see the lines, and it's supposed to be a spiderweb. And then Kuma actually lands, and we get a really cool like beam from him where he's shooting at a building. Right there. And then yeah, he's just trying to go and save Bonnie. And then moving on, Bonnie is losing hope while Kuma is rushing. This whole section I thought was brilliant. You're on the edge of your seat, man, watching this. And I also love the animation when Kuma is getting blown away by the cannonballs and all the gunfire. You have Bonnie crying, you have the Vice Admiral and the Pacifista. And all of them get shot because of Kuma. And remember, no one can do anything. Sanji can't do anything, Atlas can't do anything, Vegapunk, Frankie, they can't do anything because they're locked down because of Saturn's power. She gets thrown down, and she's just basically waiting for her death right now. And then you have Kuma coming in for the save, blocking the kind of tentacle spider nail attack thing. And you actually see him have a big ass hole in his back as well. Saturn is obviously stunned by this, and I also loved it when he tries to attack him again, and then Kuma just holds it like this, and he doesn't even pay attention to him. Right here, you see Saturn is stunned right here. He's just not even looking at him. And then Bonnie turns little, basically her true form. I kind of talked about this in my reaction, but at the start, when she turns into a kid and she hugs Vegapunk, it is basically her true form. It's her most vulnerable form. And it kind of shows that she's comfortable being around Vegapunk again, right? Because she tried to kill him, right? And that was the whole thing. And we get a brief little flashback to everything that he did, everything Saturn did. You see the hole right there. And then you get the actual punch from Kuma. And then the opening plays at the end. I also love that they didn't have the opening at the beginning. It just made it really feel like a movie, like a special episode. And I mean, it is. It truly is. And then, yeah, that's the... Oh yeah, they also added this at the end. I love that as well. This little special to be continued screen is awesome. I love it when they do that. And looking at the preview, I mean, it looks pretty weak, I would say. And I mean, that's fine. I mean, 1136 and 1137 both are complete bangers. So I'm fine with that, and knowing what's gonna happen during the rest of Egghead, it is. I hope this is a relatively weak episode because I want them to use the resources on different things. But I mean, all in all, I just love how they did the Bonnie and Kuma flashback. Certainly, some moments could have been better. I think the sketch chapter that Oda did, I think that could have been a better adaptation. But you know, not every chapter can be a banger, so I'll take what I got, man. I thought it was amazing. But what did you think? I just wanted to make this little brief video as me coming back, and yeah. Also, it just fit perfectly with the Bon and Kun flashback being done, so I just thought, okay, let's do this, man. There is also a new chapter this week, and of course, I'm going to cover that. But that said, what did you think? Did you like the Kuma Bonnie flashback? Was there something they could have done better? Did you really dislike it, and then why, right? Comment, like, subscribe, you know what to do. Have a great day, have an awesome day, and bye.